guys, welcome back to my channel.
Please, it's not your channel. Welcome back to IB's channel. So today we want to do foundation, highlight and contour routine, and I want to start by cleaning the entire face, and I'm going to use this Tara makeup removal. I'm just going to drop a few drops on my face wipes, and I'm going to clean her entire face with this. So next up, I'm going to use a face primer all over her face, and I'm using this primer by MAC, Prep and Prime Primer, and I'm going to apply that all over. Oh my god, so much of that came out. You don't need a lot of this primer on her face, you just need to. So I'm just going to distribute this all over her face. I'm going to blend that right into her skin. On her eyebrows as well. So next I'm going to go into her face using this primer. It's the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. I'm going to apply little of this on her face as well, mostly on her T-zones, forehead, bridge of her nose, down to her smile lines. So I'm going to apply little of this primer also on her brows. So I do this so that the makeup around her brows won't crease, and so also the brows will stay in place. Like the brows will not move at all day. You see the name of the primer is Stay Matte, so you want this area, like her brows, to be matte all day. You don't want it to crease or go off easily. So I always apply primer here. Okay, so I'm going to use this bronzing butter glow from Opal Luxury Nutrient Skincare. It's a Nigerian brand, you guys. Those of you in Nigeria can get this from a handle on Instagram. It's Opal Luxury. So I'm just going to apply little of this product on her face for some natural glow, you guys. Yeah, so this is what it looks like, you guys. You see the glow? So I'm just going to put little of this on her skin, and I do this just before I apply foundation. So I'm going to blend that into her skin properly, and then I'm going to use the foundation directly over this bronzing butter. Okay, so after applying the bronzing butter, I'm going to go into her face with the foundation. This foundation, it's by Zaran, and it's the Healthy Glow Foundation, and she's in the shade 45, but I think the 45 will be a bit dark for her, so I'm going to mix it with this 25. It's the same foundation, only in different shades. This is 45 and this is 25, so I already mixed that. This is what it looks like. So the 45 and the 25 is right here. So I'm going to go in using a standard foundation brush, a flat foundation brush, and I'm just going to run that through her face before I blend with my beauty blender. So just watch the way I do this. So I'm going to go in with this beauty blender. It's from Noban. NB Noban Beauty, it's a Nigerian brand. So I'm just going to use that to blend the foundation. I've already started applying with the standard foundation brush. And you guys, I'm not putting so much pressure on this. I'm just applying it. I'm just dabbing this gently on my skin. The reason why I'm doing this is because the beauty blender, it sucks up foundation. But when you apply like this, it doesn't suck up your foundation. You have more product on the face than on the beauty blender. You see this? You don't have so much product on the beauty blender, but you have a lot of product on her face, and it's blending really nicely. So this is how you use your beauty blender. So you want to make sure to blend the edges of the face very well, so you don't have a cast, like a foundation mark on your client or your model's face. So you blend this down to her neck. Make sure you blend this, you guys. Don't make the mistake of just working on the face and forgetting to blend down to the person's neck. Okay, you see that when I'm applying foundation on the forehead, I'm not taking more products on the edges. I'm just going to use the leftover of what I have on my beauty blender on the edges, because you don't want to create a cast. You want your edges to be well blended into the hairline, so you don't use so much product on your forehead. The other reason why, or the second reason why you don't use so much product on the forehead is because you don't want the forehead to break at all. You know, there's tendency for people to sweat around their forehead, so you apply little product so it doesn't break, it doesn't crease, and you don't want to apply product around the forehead because you don't want to create a cast. You want it to be well blended. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to highlight her face, and I'm using the NYS concealer in CW03. So I'm just going to put this beneath her eyes. So guys, please note that you don't need so much product, so much concealer to get a flawless application. You don't need that. You just need very little of this product. So I'm going to put on this other side as well. Also note that I'm going into her nose a bit. I'm not just going to stop my highlight here, but I'm going into her nose a bit. I do this because after doing this, you see that the nose is already slimmer. So when I highlight the bridge of her nose, I'll have little space to contour. So it helps your application to be really nice and quick. You don't have to do a lot of contouring because you have a limited space already. So I'm just going to apply this beneath her eyes, little on her forehead. So after applying this concealer, I like to allow it like for 5 seconds, few seconds, so it dries up a bit. Not dry up completely, just so it's tacky. So while I wait, I'm just going to use the concealer that I want to use to do contouring on her as well. So for contouring, I'm using the LA Girl concealer, and this is the shade Dark Cocoa. So I'm just going to use this to run through the hollows on her face. Please note that I'm applying this concealer beneath her brows, not on top of her brows or meeting like the beginning of her brows. It's coming beneath like this, and then it comes to the bridge of the nose. I'm doing the same thing for this other side, beneath her brows, downwards to the bridge of her nose. So I don't like my contouring too dark, so I'm just using a shade darker than the shade of her foundation to do her contouring. So I'm hoping that this is tacky enough, so I'm just going to blend, and I'm starting from the edges. I'm blending with a mini beauty blender this time around, and the beauty blender is from Novan as well. So I'm just blending the edges first, and then I'll blend into the main highlighted area. Alright, so guys, I feel like the contour concealer that I use is not dark enough. I'm hoping that this will do. This concealer is by NYX and is in the shade 08. So I'm just going to use this to run through the areas that I contoured before with the other one.
You know the saying that what you blend is what you get, yeah? So you want to blend directly beneath the eyes so you won't get fine lines at all, because if you don't blend this and you go ahead to set, you get lines right beneath the eyes. So I have to blend very well. And then next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to use pressed powder all over the highlighted areas before I go in with my setting powder. So I'm using this pressed powder from Zara, and I'm just going to run that through lightly, guys. I'm not going to pack that under her eyes, so I'm just going to run lightly, and then I'm going to go into the powder from MAC Cosmetics as well. So I'm going to use the MAC to run directly on top of the Zara before I go in with my setting powder. I'm using this setting powder that it's almost gone. God, it's almost gone, you guys. So the setting powder is from Sacha. It's Sacha Butter Help. You guys have seen it. So I'm just using this. I don't know what to call this. This is not a beauty blender, but you guys just see what I'm using. So I'm just going to apply the setting powder directly on top of the highlighted areas.
Okay, so I'll go ahead to set the contour, and I'm going to use this Zara Face Definer, and I'm using this dark shade in the Zara Face Definer. As you can see, it's really dark, so I'm going to use this shade to set the contour, the cream contour that I already did. So I'm going to place it right here. You already see she has holo, like it's very obvious. So I'm just going to place it directly on top of the contour line that she already has. Now, you don't have to take your contour to her lips. It has to end here. So what I do usually is I place 2 fingers here like this, and I make sure I still have space for 2 fingers before her lips. So I just place my contour and I end it right here.
So next I'm using this setting spray from Noban Beauty, and I'm just going to spray that all over her face. You guys, I like to use a lot, like a lot of setting spray. You guys will see. You see, I'm still spraying. Okay, so you see how flawless this application looks. You see how snatched this face is looking. So this is my foundation, contour and highlight routine. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, invite your friends to my channel as well. I'll see you in my next one. My voice is gone. This is my last voice I'm using to make this voiceover. Bye bye. See you in my next one, guys.